Hello and welcome to Backstage 360. I am Kelly Bennett, and we are here at the beautiful Thornton Winery for a concert that you will not forget. With me is the incomparable, the most amazing Mindi Abair. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much. Now we're about to go on stage. I'm all excited. So to have you guys before, this is making it, extra exciting.
I've been watching this woman's career since I don't know how long. Since I've been in the jazz industry. I started in '96, and I think when you started like a young girl with your dad, right?
You know what? I've been playing since I was 5, and then saxophone since I was 8. I think my first paid gig was a Chinese restaurant in Boston for a singer-songwriter, and I remember I got paid $50, and I made a copy of the check, and I think I was 18 years old. But yeah, along the way, I was... I would do a session here and there for my dad, who's here tonight with my mom. And, that made me feel like a rock star, that I could, kind of stand up with the big boys. I think I was 10 when I first did that. And, he's like, I need a sax section. Can you, buck up? Let's do this. I'm like, okay, sure. So, yeah, I've been doing it for quite a while.
Sweet. And I remember seeing you on American Idol. And I remember that moment when Steven Tyler said, "Who's your sax player?" What were you thinking when you were standing there?
Well, they told me, this is live television, right, American Idol, like you don't think about this, but you do when you're on the show, because it's made incredibly apparent to you every second that 26 million people are probably watching right now. Don't screw up. And when you finish the song, get off stage. Right. I'm like, okay.
It's not about you, it's about the artist, right?
No, and that's what was fun about it, that I could get out of my own bubble as an artist, which is great to be in, but that I could be a part of other people's careers. But, here we do our song, we did old time rock and roll, which was fun, I could rock out, and I get off stage, and as I'm walking off stage, I hear Steven Tyler say, "Forget about you, who's your sax player?" And I just thought, rock and roll, that's great. So that was the beginning of a beautiful friendship, and I ended up going on the road with Aerosmith that summer, or 2 summers later, I guess. Steven was so nice. He called me at home, which I don't know who gave him my home phone number, but God bless. And I sang with him and played with him, and it was really, really amazing. Those guys are just such an incredible band. I call it my summer vacation with Aerosmith.
Well, you have been pretty busy yourself. You now have the Bone Shakers. Yeah. So my question to you is, did the Bone Shakers come to you, or did you go to the Bone Shakers?
You know what? Sometimes life is crazy, and it's a journey, and you just have to take it. Much like we just talked about with American Idol and Aerosmith. When I first moved to LA, this guy came up to me and said, "Hey, you should come play with my rock band." And I said, "Yes, of course I should." I didn't know anyone, I was living in this half of a garage. I just wanted to play. And I was like, yes. And so I go to the gig, and Randy Jacobs is the guitar player. And Randy also has another band called the Bone Shakers at this point. But I had never met him, and I, shook the guy's hands in the band, and hey, let's do our gig. During that show, Randy Jacobs is mid-guitar solo, and he does a backflip off the stage into the audience. And I just thought, I got to be friends with that guy. I want to make music with that guy. Now, our whole lives we've played together on and off. He's played on my records. I've played on his records. We've toured on and off together with, my band, with Summer Horns, with all kinds of stuff. And I was here in Newport Beach, and his band, the Bone Shakers, was on one stage. My band was on another stage. So I'm like, I'm coming to sit in. Come on. And we thought it'd be great. End of the set, we just said to each other, that was like old times. That was inspired. It was fun. It was incredible. It should be that way every night. So we decided, Mindi Abair and the Bone Shakers, why not? And I told my friend in Seattle, it was our first show together, and I said, just record it. We've got the technology. Just do it. This band is magic. And that became our live CD. That was 2 years ago. We've been on the road nonstop, and we just released our second CD, which is a studio CD, and it's a blast. It's just blues, rock. It's fun. We just debuted last week on Billboard Blues album chart, #3. So it's fun to be on a chart with a lot of my heroes, the Rolling Stones, Greg Allman, and Kenny Wayne Shepherd, and
That was studio sessions?
the EastWest Sessions.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
tell me about that, because it's been produced by an incredible, amazing producer that when I read Led Zeppelin, I was like, oh, hello.
Yeah, done.
And then some of the people that you have playing on that album. First of all, let's talk about Kevin Shirley. What was it like to work with him?
Kevin Shirley, I mean, he's an amazing producer. And I didn't know him, but I knew his work. I mean, the Black Crowes, Aerosmith, Led Zeppelin, Joe Bonamassa. I mean, this guy does great music, great bands. You and me both. I mean, and I'm sitting at lunch with a friend, a new friend, and we were just kind of at lunch having fun with a bunch of people, and I was telling him the music I was writing and what we were doing, and he goes, I know who should produce your new record. I've got it. I'm like, who? Kevin Shirley. And I said, yeah, of course, Kevin Shirley. We'd all like Kevin Shirley to produce our record. And literally 2 weeks later, I get this call. Hey, it's Ken. I just talked to Kevin Shirley. He's in his Malibu studio. What are you doing right now? You want to drive up there? Yeah. I hopped in my car and I drove up there. And we talked music, and 30 minutes later, he was producing the record, and we were on the road to doing it, which was just amazing to have someone like that at the helm. I didn't know what he'd add, and I didn't know what he would kind of change or morph, but he added quite a lot, and he just brought us together, and he captured that essence of what the band is, not just me, but everyone's talents and everyone's character and the fun of it, and that takes something, to not make it so perfect, not fix things, not just leave that spirit of what was in the room.
Kind of put the rawness together, but put you guys together in a cohesive unit.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, the band sounds great. We've been on the road together for a few years now, so it's like, how do you just take that and make it sound like a record, but not sterilize it. And that's what he's great with other bands. But this record is that. It's not perfect. There's mistakes in there. There's, but there's this energy that's just this abandon that everyone's playing with, that we were just, just heart and soul in every take. And it comes across. Yeah. And that's hard to get on tape.
Yeah, I listened to the album coming up here, and a couple of my favorites, Freedom was a real favorite of mine.
We're playing that tonight.
It just felt like I was free, and I could feel your freedom coming out of that.
I love that.
You know what I mean? I could feel that you were free.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does. It's a very visual song for me, and it has no words. I mean, most of the stuff on the record is vocals. Right. But that particular song, it really gives me this visual of, just kind of flying and just kind of setting someone free in this, you can take it however you want. And I've had people come up and, say, you meant this from it, you meant this. And it just feels like you're just setting yourself free.
I felt it. So let's talk about Joe Bonamassa.
Sure.
I've been following his career since he was probably 12.
Yeah.
And I remember him as a small young boy. And then all of a sudden, I remember listening to KLOS, Mark and Brian, and they said, we got this guy coming in to play guitar. Everybody's telling us he's the most amazing guitar player, blah, blah, blah. They couldn't even pronounce his name.
Right.
Seriously, Mark and Brian were like, Basa Masa, what's this guy? And they were just like joking around and just, oh my gosh, they were just messing, just joking around. And the guy comes in, I mean, he just blew their socks off. How did you get that connection with him? I'm going to assume it's probably through Kevin Shirley, but number one, and then number two, how was it working with him?
I had met Joe Bonamassa a few times before he came in the studio, and we just met in passing, and I knew a bunch of his band members, and, we'd be playing the same cities and stuff like that. But when we were in, we chose the songs. We did 3 days of rehearsal, and then we recorded the record in 5 days at EastWest Studios. And I didn't have anyone sitting in for it. I didn't have anybody set up. This was a band record, Mindi Abair and the Bone Shakers. But Kevin came in one morning, and he's like, I think Joe Bonamassa would sound great on this record. I just think you should have him for a song. And so we sat around and like listened through the songs. Where would he fit? And Pretty Good for a Girl is the song that we had him sit in on. And it was just, once I had that in my mind, I was like, oh, it'd be amazing. Absolutely. And Joe came in, I think 2 days later, and came in, he recorded the whole song with us. He hung out. He and Randy were just, geeky, talking guitars, showing off guitars, talking about headstocks and this and that.
You're like going, hello.
No, I love that stuff too. I'm a dork. But I mean, he couldn't have been nicer, and he couldn't have been just more down to earth. And a lot of people just come in and play a solo and bye-bye. He hung out, and he was so much fun. Such a good guy. And he just brought the level up. I mean, I don't need another guitar player in my band. Randy Jacobs is the king for me. I mean, I love the way Randy plays, and for Joe to come in and add to what we had as a band was really incredible. And, to know that Joe Bonamassa is taking a solo right after you and you're taking a solo right after him, it makes you play. It makes you, makes you give your best. And it was just an exciting day.
Now, the singer on that, who was doing the words?
I did all the vocals on the record. Yeah.
No, but the Pretty Good for a Girl, the male voice.
Who said the line? Okay, Sweet Pea Atkinson is just this amazing singer. He was with Was Not Was. Remember Walk the Dinosaur? Oh. That's him with the hat and the whole, boom, boom, lacka, 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 boom. So that's him, and he also guested on the record with, what's the name of the song? Let me hear it from you. So he's on that, and he's on all the background vocals. I mean, he's part of the band,
Okay, I'm going to wrap this up real quick, but I have one quick question for you. Pretty Good for a Girl. I went to the website. I am just so inspired. I seriously am inspired. So what are we going to do with this?
You know what? I wrote the song Pretty Good for a Girl just because I wanted to tell my story, and I think, a lot of women are just doing amazing things. And every once in a while, someone will be like, that's pretty good for a girl. And you think, hey. But when we recorded the song, it became this motivation. Like, yeah, I'm pretty good for a girl. Uh-huh. Damn right I'm pretty good for a girl. So I took it way too far. I built a website. I just feel like we as women should lift each other up. Yeah. And if we don't, no one else will. Exactly. It starts with us. Right. And so I wanted a place where I could feature females.
Okay. Oh, we have to go. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. She's got to get on stage. So you go ahead and you have fun. I'll wrap it up for you. Okay. Thank you so much. This is Mindi Abair. I'm Kelly Bennett with BackStage360. Thanks for watching.